Welcome to Game Soup, it's a game design podcast where we throw ideas in a pot and see what's cooking. I'm Chloe Montgomery and I'm joined by your Lancer's Lancer,
Kayla Dice. I've not played Lancer, have you?
I played like one version of it and I didn't really enjoy the GM that we had.
Fair. Given for how crunchy and mechanical a game it is, I'm like, yeah, that really does seem like a GM you just don't like will sink the entire thing.
Super railroady. But I do miss my princess mech pilot character that I made, so that's something.
So you. It's just so you. You know what's it? Have you ever made a game with princesses?
About princesses? I don't think so, no. Why?
Yeah, I was thinking.
Let's make a princess game.
Yeah, I also realised we could talk about the fact I'm doing a Nemesis Revealed playtest tomorrow.
Yeah, so...
But let's go for a princess game.
Are we doing about that, I guess?
Yeah, so are we doing Princess Country?
Yeah, that was my first thought. It's that one episode of Adventure Time where Marceline and Lumpy Space Princess fuck around at the Princess Conference. No, I think you... Okay, what is Princess Con?
Princess Con. Oh, right, I heard Con for... I don't know. I think this is a thing where it's like you're guys having to decide what princess means in this world. Like, are you meaning a heir to a kingdom? Are you meaning a sort of like Adventure Time-esque princess? Are you meaning maybe in a like Disney princess, like you're all like the leads of fairy tales who are princesses whether they are or not, and you could do a little Disney princess commentary if you wanted in there.
I think my brain's stuck on Adventure Time princesses, so you're like the embodiment of a thing. So you've got like breakfast or slime or whatever.
Yeah, it's not princess.
I don't think that's one, but sure.
Well, you need some legally distinct ones for this game.
Yeah, okay. So we got Birthday Cake Princess. We've got Candle Princess. That probably is one in Adventure Time. Butch Princess.
Ooh.
Pillow Princess.
Passenger Princess.
Yeah, it works. See,
that's the one area of your where you're not a princess. You're distinctly not a passenger princess.
Don't read into this.
She just drives. She has a driver's license and a car.
That much is true about me. Starfish Princess. And yeah, I don't know if it's like... so, okay, now that I've got it in my head, you're at a convention. Mm-hmm. You are both you are running a booth for whatever your princessdom is. You're trying to sell people on. Yeah, move to my country. I'm Birthday Cake Princess. We have birthday cake for every male.
So I love that you're both like the embodiment of a place. Technically, like you have a country, but also you're more the mascot for it than actually the ruler.
Absolutely. You're both. No, you are the ruler who is a mascot.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's like Princess Bubblegum. Everyone who lives there is Candy.
Okay. Yeah. So you're the ruler and the mascot. You're trying to sell people there. Is this just like a BOB-esque screwball game? Getting in shenanigans at Princess Con, or is it a convention stall management sim?
Oh no, it's nothing serious. I think it's like, okay, so I'm Birthday Cake Princess. I've come along to your stall. Who are you, Kayla, today? What princess are you?
What princess am I? I am definitely not looking around the room while I store for time. But, in fact, I am Coffee Princess.
Coffee Princess, okay.
I feel given coffee is an actual plant that grows in places, that maybe has too much real-world implications. I'm Latte Princess. Latte Princess.
That works. That more specific makes it better. So you have, like... Why should I move to Latte Kingdom? Do you have, like, rivers of coffee, or what?
Yeah, I guess all of our, like, rivers... Yeah, no, all of our rivers are espresso, and all of the rain is steamed milk.
Rivers of espresso, rain of steamed milk.
Yeah, you do need to stay indoors if you're not, like, wearing protective gear while you...
Why should I move there? Because I can't wear clothes because I have frosting for hair.
Oh. Well, I mean, if you have frosting for hair, probably actually the steamed milk would mix in and sort of complement.
I will become coffee cake princess if I move
Yeah,
there, so...
we also have, like, a wide array of sprinkles everywhere. The fields of sprinkles. Sprinkle fields.
That's nice. Okay. So, do you want to get one of your little matcha beans to cover the stall and we'll go to a different stall?
Yeah, okay. And then what, we go to a stall,
we go to a different stall, meet a new person, and then I'll play the next princess, and then it just goes like that.
So this is
you go around the table, this is how you meet the different characters.
Yeah.
And then you go on an adventure around Princess Con, because like, oh no, the evil king has come to kidnap some princesses, or... actually, there's a cool hero here at Princess Con, and he's rescued so many of us. Because obviously, everyone at Princess Con is a damsel. That's not hard coded, but I think it's funny.
Yeah, I think this is a fun sort of Adventure Time inspired thing. That's also just a lot of weird stuff about like, I guess, all of the implications of princess a bit. This feels like a U game.
Yeah, I'd write this as like a zine, a probably 2-pager.
You could probably like pad it out enough if you wanted to make distinct princess classes, and make it like Princess Con, try. Princess Con, try please.
I don't know if I'd put classes in, but it's like,
Fair.
I guess I would maybe like make a pick list of like, here are your token generators and your token spenders, maybe.
Yeah, I like that, because you could definitely do like a build your character out of like the tools that make a BOB playbook, even if you don't have one that works, universally.
Yeah, like a different spin on BOB, like character creation rather than like, here are your prescribed classes, like a classless BOB sort of thing.
It's interesting, yeah.
And then like your setting elements could be like the con itself, events at the con, I don't know what else, but...
Yeah, con goers, and I guess whatever your sort of schemers are.
Yeah, evil doers.
Yeah, it's probably a bit about friendship.
Yeah, friendship is a setting element.
Awesome. So, could you have, 4,000 words done by Monday for this?
I'm still waiting on that modular, everything has its own system, thank you.
Fine. What would you actually call this? Do you have any ideas?
Probably like Princess Con.
Yeah.
And then make the cover have lots of cool little cartoon characters on it.
I know I said, so I'm going to run a playtest for Nemesis Revealed tomorrow night. I don't think I've actually talked about how I've made this into a real game since we did Shadow the Other Side of the Coin.
So tell me about it. I think you have, might be enough camera, mic.
Yeah, I think I've told you personally, maybe not that. So, so Shadow the Other Side of the Coin was the game we made up where we said, you've got play sets and you always build a Nemesis in response to them. I think the thing we pitched at the time was you have just card moves and they're all really crunchy and mechanical, but also so elegantly balanced. Because it was one of the episodes where we were like, what if we did grandiose shit? Game doesn't work like that. I went back to dices. So basically, you have a chapter which is a session of play where it's going to build up to a showdown between the Nemesis and the hero. And all of the Nemesis build-up is trying to get more dice for this showdown. And then, both the Nemesis and the hero are going to roll different dice and, designate things to their actions. And that'll be another sort of section in this tapestry of anonymity. And then in the build-up scenes, it's you always frame a scene and there's a challenge. It kind of uses some of the way challenges work in Terminal, but a bit different. And you're rotating the character in there, which I think was part of the game as we did it. It's you're always rotating who's narrating, who's going to play the Nemesis here, who's doing other stuff. So yeah, I wrote out a bunch of characters. The one I wrote what is loosely a sort of a trans femme tokusatsu character archetype. I also did one that's just a kind of like Spider-Man Daredevil mashup. That's the one I'm going to playtest with because I think it's the most simple. I did one that's like Indiana Jones Scrooge McDuck-esque.
Those are two different archetypes, but okay.
I'd argue they're not that different, but it is where they are. They're being met in there. Like, it's the same thing of the sort of treasure hunter adventurer, but cast a bit more in like the eccentric vein of Scrooge, but with a lot of the more sort of like, oh no, they are like an academic that Indie has. Okay. I have a mecha one where it's like a weird mecha setting where portals open from the sky and drop meteors full of monsters into areas, so then that zone is declared a meteor zone and is like reverse a mech free-for-all. Yeah, reverse Pacific Rim a bit. Meteor zones is like mech free-for-all, and basically like the main hero of that is a free person unit managing a mech called K9000 Delta.
And they're all dog girls.
Little bit. And yeah, then I think I have other ones. But that's what that'll be. I'll say on how that goes next week. I did have a character idea for Nemesis Revealed, but I then was like, it doesn't really fit into this. I had this idea of doing like a sort of John Constantine riff, like, you know, that sort of like, oh, cor blimey, Guff, I'm a street exorcist. But I was going to be like, oh, this character's gimmick is that when they were born, they were like, this is the son of the devil, this is the Antichrist, and then she grew up and transitioned, and it's like, oh, guess that prophecy didn't apply to you. We're all kind of mad at you for being trans and not bringing about the apocalypse. And I was going to be like, yeah, that's a motivation for her to be all like, fuck heaven and fuck hell. She went more Aussie than Cockney there. But I was like, this doesn't work for the structure of this game. This
feels more like your pitch for the comic you're trying to kickstart.
That's true. In my mind, that character, yeah. So that's why I've cut that from the game. Every now and then I'm always like, should I just do like a sort of Lady Blackbird-esque like one-shot game with that character? Or like a W.H. Arthur's cinematic superhero universe stuff?
Yeah, I could see it as a one-shot game. Like, you've got your Hellboy knockoff characters.
Oh, Hellboy's another, yeah.
Yeah. I could see that as a one-pager.
Yeah! Yeah,
I've been meaning to try to like organise like a one-page collection with people, but that sounds like a job for somebody with more network than me.
Well, I mean, often that's the value of doing things like that would be build your network, yeah. You also have loads of one-page ideas frequently, so I could see the benefit of doing a collection where you're also like including some of your own stuff.
Yeah. Because like, I do see in Travelling Man a bunch of like the ultimate one-page RPG collections. And it's like, who else is making those? You're ultimate because you're the only one. So then, like, Grant Howitt, who else is making those?
There's a lot there's loads of them, but I don't see many other collections. That's what I'm
saying. There's lots of one pages, but who's making collections?
One Shot Network have done like a. Is this a book club of one-page games, or is it of one-shot games?
I did see this on Twitter this morning.
I think it was one-page games.
Bear with us while we... 12 micro RPGs, so they're not one-pages. So we still can get in the niche there.
I mean, also, like I said, it's like, currently these are... like, the collection market of it is something that's only touched by, like, a very small amount of people. So, yeah, I could see that fun. Coming soon to you, Chloe's Soup Kitchen.
The Biscuit Tin.
The Biscuit Tin, that's what you'd call it.
Yeah.
And it's not full of sewing needles. It's full of games instead. You could actually sell it in tins. That would be way more expensive than is worth it. Like, no one sells stuff in tins. Tins are expensive.
But I think that's like the £50 Kickstarter tier. We go out, buy a box of biscuits, empty it, put all the games inside.
Empty it straight into your bellies?
Possibly.
I had another idea that I could
Ooh.
pick up dust off. It involves riffing on a theme we have riffed on a lot, but usually in different enough ways. So I feel we're safe. It's not like we're reinventing the same game 3 times. It's me going back to layers of players. Because...
Oh, Christ, okay.
But in a very different way. I watched a Shakespeare play on Saturday in Cambridge. It was with Falstaff, who's like a jolly kind of foolish knight, and some Henry plays. He has a spin-off where he's just trying to fuck these 2 women, and they're offended that he sent them both letters, so they're leading him on, and trying to get him in situations where he's embarrassed. The 2 women's husbands are investigating and snooping around. It's kind of like a slapsticky farce. Not so much slapsticky, actually. That's wrong. It's like a screwball-esque farce, but back there. Anyway, I saw it with my boyfriend, and we were joking after about what the poly version of that would look like, and we were like, no, it all still works. It's just like...
Yeah.
The lies are just slightly different. And then this got me thinking about,
we're just, like, messing with our knight boyfriend, making him look like a little fool.
Yeah, or it's like this weird, like, layers of, like, well, we can't date them, they had, like, this fallout with this extended member of the polycule, and also because of, like, you just go really niche with it.
Yeah, it's like we can flirt with them, but we can't actually do anything with them, so we can just, like, play with them like they're a little dog or something. Like, they're just a weirdo that we poke with sticks.
Or, like, the character who is really jealous. It's like, they are still exactly that jealous. They're just also going, like, hiding it and pretending that's not the case. They're like, no, I'm very normal. I'm very okay with everything. I must now investigate my wife's illicit affairs. The moment she's off screen. Anyway, this got me thinking about, like, modernizations of, like, either Shakespeare stuff or, like, old plays. And I don't mean, like, modern dress staging, like you get on stage all the time. I kind of meant more, like, things like 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah, we're not doing Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. We're doing, like, She's the Man.
Yes, She's the Man. In terms of things that are not Shakespeare, like Clueless to Emma, Fire Island to Pride and Prejudice. So I think...
Yeah.
Taking some of the layers of players here, I think this game is like, you are a production company. This probably needs to be on stage because I think this works with the improv nature of it better. Like, as in, we're saying it's a stage play, even though all of the things we've mentioned are films, and theatre doesn't do that kind of modernization as much. We say it's like, you have all lost the script, you failed to learn for your thing. You have all of these prop costumes that are modern, but you've sort of promised people a version of whatever play you all have enough of a knowledge of. You're allowed to read the Wikipedia summary for like 5 minutes before you start playing, and then you're not allowed to look at it again. And you are improvising these series of scenes where you're pretending to be modern, but you're not really allowed to communicate about, like, what decisions you've made. So sometimes someone will come in and be like, that's right, I'm the modern version of the Prince. I'm the President of the United States of America. So it's like, we'd been kind of doing this... I mean, until your character showed up, we had been doing this as a more sort of, like, street-level thing. I really don't know how we're going to make these ideas work together, but we are, in fiction, live on stage right now, so I need to yes-and this.
So it's a LARP?
It's LARP-esque, yeah. It's... I think you would do roles for the audience, because you'd only be, like, you know, playing them. So, like, your roles would never be like, I try to fight and kill Hotspur as Prince Hal. It would be like, no, because he's not going to fight back. Like, the dude playing, like, your jock rival knows how the story ends. But it's like, does this fight scene look good? You've had no time to rehearse, and it's like, oh no, you've got to do a roll for stunts, and it's like, yeah, you're going to fucking, like, fracture your shin doing this, and, like, you're going to have to really improv some shitty dialogue for why you did not lose that fight, because, like, the audience are not going to be convinced when they see you on the ground screaming.
I went to go see Hamlet in university, and I'd never seen Hamlet before. It was a student production of Hamlet. I'd never seen it before, and there's a sword fight near the end, and Hamlet's sword broke, like right at the start of the fight, and I think he's meant to win this fight. So he's just running around trying to stab him with the hilt of this sword, and I was like, this is a really cool fight. Like, Shakespeare did some good stuff here. It's like, no, that's not how it's meant to go, Chloe.
Yeah.
Like, he's fighting at a massive disadvantage, but it's like he still wins it. It's like, yeah, this is a good character moment, actually.
Yeah, so I think, like, your roles are stuff like stunts, props, maybe. Maybe props are in stunts, maybe they're separate. Just a general conviction, like, about your acting. If you say, oh, this speech is really beautiful, then it's like, cool, you've got to roll to see how the audience reacted to it. Yeah. I think maybe you draw some things from either... I guess if you're rolling you roll a random table. But, like, some stuff ahead of time, like, as you're building your character, it's just like, okay, these two are dating. These two used to date. This person, you were supposed to be the lead and you were replaced at the last minute. Just some context you can all play behind your performances. And then I think you also have to pick up, like, some broad modernization stuff ahead of time, like... You've decided to make it gay. You've decided to make it poly. It's set 5 years in the future. It's ultra modern.
Yeah.
Or it's hot button political. Like, those are your sort of, like, randomizers.
I like it. This is called Wokespeare or something like that. I don't
Wokespeare. Oh. I'd probably just go over using the layers of player's name.
Wokespeare.
Wokespeare would be quite funny, actually. I feel like the fact that I do keep going back to ideas relating to, like, there's an audience, or you're a performer as well.
You're gonna write this, honey.
I'm gonna write something. Clearly something is gonna come from all of these themes. Whether that means I end up writing Bleed, the actual breakup RPG, or I write a thing about being a theatre performer, whether it's LARPy or something. Like, something along those lines will happen. We just don't know when. You
definitely said performer there, by the way.
It is slurring it. I swear, it's more me slurring the words than, like, not knowing how it's pronounced.
Thank you for listening to Game Soup.
2 weeks in a row. 3 weeks in a row.